Conversing is produced and distributed in partnership with Comet Magazine and Fuller Seminary. I'm Mark Labberton. Welcome to Conversing. In between my longer conversations with people who fascinate and inspire and challenge me, I share a short personal reflection, a focused episode that brings you the ideas, stories, questions, ponderings, and perspectives that animate Conversing and give voice to the purpose and heart of the show. Thanks for listening with me. Merry Christmas to you on this last day of Advent, just before we tip into Christmas itself. As we stand on the cusp of Christmas, I find myself wanting to share with you one of the expressions of my own Advent rituals, which has been the rereading of King Lear every Advent for many, many years. It's a valuable way for me to experience Advent alongside all of the wonderful parts of the Advent celebration in Christian community. This is a more private ritual and practice that has encouraged me and challenged me every year. It's an article that I've entitled, Why I Read King Lear Each Advent. Seeing darkness is as crucial as seeing light. Each Advent, I do something a little unusual. I reread King Lear. Revisiting Shakespeare's dark exploration of the dissolution of family, friendship, personality, and nation has become part of my annual rhythm. It might seem odd, particularly during this most difficult of years, with short winter days and so much national, international, and personal pain all around us. Who needs more darkness? As a Christian, I do. Reading Lear in Advent has taught me that seeing darkness is as crucial as seeing light. The pull Lear has on me is not temperamental. I'm not particularly inclined toward despair, nor attracted to melancholy. Rather, I see Advent as a season of waiting in the dark, but in hope of light. I'm compelled to attend to the in-between, to neglect neither and experience both, and to engage intensely in a season of absorbing perception and consideration. Paying attention provokes and distills our humanity, but our distractibility is relentless, especially today, and it may be exceeded only by our capacity for denial. Our natural inclination is to look away from darkness, to pretend the shadows don't exist, but they do. We need to find a way to look into the darkness without being overwhelmed by it, to be able to stare in safety, which brings me back to Lear. Being absorbed in the darkness of that story has taught me to breathe in the presence of darkness in our story. In other words, Lear helps me see, feel, and measure life differently. For more than 40 years, I've found in Lear the vulnerable pulse and impulse of being human. The play condenses and dramatizes a tale of unraveling. The story is at once intimate and public, about the forms of self-destruction lurking inside a king's power, and about the distorted pettiness that can undo life. It's about leadership, exercised through the barrenness of lies, conniving, secrets, and charades. It's a story of power and its impotence. The king cannot save himself, nor can the people around him. No one needs to strain to feel the heartbeat and the heartache of this drama. It may not be our tale, but it is our story. Lear certainly makes for a different kind of Christmas reading. As the play unfolds, I can be choked by its jarring tragedy, the needless anguish of the tumbling, destructive descent toward death. At the same time, I can see and feel it with some measure of dispassion because I know that this is precisely not my king, not my family, not my nation. And yet, it is. My soul trembles as King Lear names and exposes human greediness for love, combustibly combined with the treacherousness of our own self-interest. It all hits rather too closely to home, speaking not just to Shakespeare's time, but to ours, speaking not just to Lear's struggles, but to our own. But why read Lear for this? Why not just walk out in the street or read the newspaper or scan the internet for plenty of darkness? Our human story can be viewed through many different lenses and angles. The distinct punch of Lear for me is the shocking immediacy of a play written more than 400 years ago, which intensifies rather than dilutes the force of its impact. Since it was finished in 1606, this play has never not been relevant. Contemporary stories can be urgent and often compelling, but the seasoned crisis of Lear pierces more primitively, at a deeper and more elementary level. That is one reason that the play rings as it does. Since the COVID pandemic, we've experienced more isolation than we might ever have imagined. In so many forms, this has struck all of us. We've each tried, I'm sure, to walk into the world trying to remember that there was something beyond COVID, and now this far from its origins, we're all experiencing the ongoing remnant of that time and its challenges. We now live in a season which does feel so much more commonly full of pain and sorrow, rage and loss, for all kinds of different reasons. I know and hear and feel much of that, which is why silence has never been a better or more necessary gift. Right in the midst of our collective groaning, the resilient, sacrificing beauties of being human have done more than flicker. They've revealed the gift of human being, a gift at once fragile and also durable. King Lear's lens on being human has been grounded in such a way as to make it possible to see our troubles acutely, undistracted by hope. Reading the play each Advent exposes my raw, ongoing questions and perplexities. It also prepares me for the quiet shock of a vulnerable baby as God's answer to human horror. Freshly wrapped in the depths of our personal and collective Lears, Christians for 2 millennia have greeted God's breathtaking, swaddled self. Each story is as unremitting as the other. Sentimentality is swiftly squelched by both. When these two are held in their audacious collision, I know Advent is done. The waiting and the darkness begin to give way to hope. And then Christmas is here. Conversing is produced and distributed in partnership with Comment Magazine and Fuller Seminary. Peter Labberton is our engineer and editor. Evan Rosa is our producer. For more information about Comment Magazine, visit comment.org, where you can subscribe, read the current magazine issue, and browse their archive. Fuller Seminary is an evangelical, multi-denominational graduate institution committed to providing indispensable formational education for diverse Christian leaders everywhere. For information, visit fuller.edu. I'm your host, Mark Labberton. Thanks for listening with me.